Hey there, everybody. So this week I've got a 3 3/4 inch Han Solo. You're probably wondering why. It's because I'm doing Artim from Star Trek Insurrection. And this works out really well because the height of this figure, when put with the 5-inch figures, makes it look like he's, about the size of a 12-year-old boy, which is what Artim is in the movie. So first thing I need to do is I need to sand the area around his legs where we're going to be adding some epoxy sculpt to make it more like proper pants. He had pants in the movie and not where they were tucked into the boots. I'm just using some Elmer's glue to create some adhesion there where I've sanded. It's just then, like I said, the sanding was just to get some texture onto it. Now I've got the epoxy sculpt. I'm going to shape it out. This is actually pretty easy. I just need to create a little blanket layer to go around the top of the boots and cover up the lower part of the legs to make it look like he's wearing regular pants. I had it first going up just to the knee, but it kind of stopped a little bit below. And here in a few minutes, you'll see that I actually go back and I'm going to have to add just a little bit of a wedge right at the back of the knee to make it have a slightly smoother shape. The good thing about this is that this is air dry stuff, so you can just leave it to air dry. You can do it overnight, or you can just give it, it's about 2 to 3 hours, I think, to let it dry, fully harden, and then you can just put a primer on it and paint over it. Takes paint really well. But yeah, there I am. I'm shaping out the cuffs of the pants legs, and that's when I started realizing about what I was talking about with the knee, that it looked kind of weird, so I needed to add some shape to the back of the pants leg. And now it's starting to look like he's wearing just proper regular pants. I am using a paintbrush to smooth out the texture. It's a wet paintbrush is really good for getting it to be seamless with the figure that's already there. Now at this point, I had to sculpt on some around the face because Artim's face is a little more round. So I couldn't really get the camera to pick that up when I was sculpting, so I didn't even leave it in. Here I am. I have put a little bit of primer on, and now I'm just painting. I know it's out of focus, so it's when it's this small of a detail, I cannot get the camera to focus at all. So sorry about that. But painting up the face, all the flesh tone, and this also fills in a little bit of the age that was in the Harrison Ford face. Now this is me painting his lips.
This video is brought to you by Unable. At Unable, we have built a community of being ineffective, a place where you can also give up. If you want to, don't bother. Like this video, it's not worth it. Unable, why bother?
It's just a flesh tone with a little bit of red, just to sort of get a little bit of the brightness of the lip color. I think I also put just a little bit on the cheeks. And this is me getting ready to paint the hair, which Artim's hair is actually really interesting. In the back and sides, he's got that sort of brown, but then it fades up to a blonde on top, which for the blonde hair, I use a mixture of gold and buff, which gives a really nice color, and it's not that fake yellow that a lot of people will do. And so, yeah, now finally I'm just painting the pants all solid brown. As you can see, I did put a primer on the upper part of the pants where I didn't sculpt anything as well, because I want the paint to be able to hold on long term. So, yeah, getting all that. It's literally just a flat brown, nothing special. The pants he was wearing in the movie didn't have anything particular about them either. I had to get more paint on my palette. If you've never used a wet palette, I definitely encourage you to check out using that. It helps your paint last so much longer while you're using it. It's basically just a little shallow pan. You put a wet sponge in the bottom, and then you put a piece of paper on top and put your paint on the piece of paper, and it keeps the moisture keeps the paint nice and fresh. I will also, I don't remember if I'm going to show it or not, I do get some black and redo the boots, because I had gotten I'd gotten a little bit of primer on the boots on accident, and so I just give them a nice little cover up to make sure that, you know, it all is sort of seamless. Now off screen I had made a vest for him to wear that I made it entirely out of duct tape. And at some point I can show how I make clothes using duct tape. But this is the vest that I made, and I painted it. The inside's all just a sort of a buff color. The outside is brown, and I did some speckling on it with the buff and the yellow to give it some variation. And there it is. That is Artim from Star Trek Insurrection. I don't really have too many of the other figures from Star Trek Insurrection made just yet, but I will be making them. But there we go. That you can see he looks about the appropriate height like he did in the movie. And hopefully the figure conveys that. And yeah, I could not get him to stand up, and I don't have any stands for... I've given all my Star Wars stuff away to a friend some years ago, and so now I don't have any stands for this size figures, and they won't fit on the Star Trek stands. So I need to get some so that I can get him to stand up properly. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this one. And I'll see you next time.
If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Also, you can support the show by signing up on Patreon, or head over to Zazzle to pick up prints of my artwork, prints on canvas, t-shirts, and other merch. You can find me on social media. For more information and updates on the channel, all info is below. If you didn't enjoy the video, why are you still here? Do you want a song? Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, them, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, who can screw himself. You can listen to somebody else.